There.
Hey there, guys.
How's everybody? Welcome back to part 2 of our holiday.
Of the Tammy and Wanda show. Do 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 do.
Now, what's your favorite version of the Grinch? Since we were talking about
we talked about that earlier. I have two. I like Jim Carrey.
Okay.
And I also like the 1976 one, if that's the right date.
Sounds right. I mean, it predates both of us being alive, so
yeah.
Whoops.
I mean, it came out before our time.
But it's kind of one of those movies you always watch with your family. Like,
yeah.
You know, Wizard of Oz was always on around Thanksgiving back then, and then you always had the Grinch like the week after Thanksgiving.
Then it turned into It's a Wonderful Life. I can't stand that movie.
Oh, me either. We have that in common.
I can't stand that movie anymore. I watched it so many times, and it was literally on replay on TV.
Yes. I was talking about this with my mom the other day on the phone, actually, because my dad's looking for it on DVD because he loves that flick. Wow.
Words. They're there, guys.
Which explains probably why I don't like it, because it was probably, I've seen it too many times.
Oh.
But to me, I don't know if it's, I love the actors in the film. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful legends in that movie. The storyline's okay, but it's kind of one of those, it's too perfect of a story. And I was telling her, like, you know, it goes from like, wow, cool, like, it's just too perfect. It's almost like a Hallmark movie. Why I don't watch those is
my mom loves those.
It's beginning, middle, end, and the end is always too perfect. And you're like, I like the imperfect story. I don't like something that's so buttoned up and neat.
Mm-hmm.
It's boring to me.
Yeah.
And then I thought maybe it's that little girl going, every time a bell rings. I just want to pop her. And I love kids, but oh my God.
It's so funny. Like, the first time that I watched it, and they were saying how his daughter was sick. And I'm like, oh no, is she going to die? Is it going to be like a Tiny Tim kind of thing?
A Tiny Tim scenario?
Like, is this how it's going to be? And like, shit, I forget his name. That's just how long it's been since I've seen that movie. Jimmy Stewart,
yes.
Jimmy Stewart's character. And he's just like, Mary, I'm alive. Mary.
Sounds like a fucking horse.
He sounds like a horse. Oh, you want the moon? Mary? Oh, I'll lasso the moon for you.
He's such an acting legend, but there are times where you're like...
Especially in It's a Wonderful Life. Mary, don't you remember me?
I want to bitch slap the director of that movie at certain points. Like, what in the fuck were you thinking? Like, you didn't go, hey, dude, you sound like a horse. Could you play down the part of your voice? Like,
Mary.
As someone who's directed something, like, you go, that would have pissed me off as a director, just, like, watching that from the chair going, no, just say, Mary. That would have been a lot.
Like, can you just change that voice a little bit?
It would have been more believable if he was more frantic about it, you know what I mean? Because he just almost died.
Well, and it's so funny. I love how acting has evolved
over time.
Mm-hmm. Because it's like when you watch like those old films, like the way that they like kissed one another in the scenes.
Oh yeah.
It was like smack, and then press your face up against each other. Oh, I can't believe it. I'm so happy that we're together. Oh.
And then
Jim.
The guy would always call the girl kid.
Yes.
And like do one of the things.
Yeah.
And you go, no.
But it's just there are a lot of Christmas movies I can't watch anymore because we've seen it so many times.
See, I think that's why I stick with ones I know are classic, like Christmas Vacation or A Christmas Story, which we brought up a little bit in the last episode, where you know, it's just one of those movies where, because I never watch it all the way through, specifically with The Christmas Story, it doesn't get old to me because I don't normally watch it start to finish.
Yeah.
So I think that's what keeps the magic alive, but...
Yeah, I can't watch Miracle on 34th Street.
Again, same problem for me.
Yeah.
It's too perfect of a story. You're like, okay.
It's very Hallmarky.
Oh, hey, look, it's Santa. He really is Santa. Oh.
And I did the show on stage. I did that show. I was the lead actress in that.
And we've talked about this a few times just between the two of us, never on the show. But once you've done a show,
oh yeah,
a lot of times you can't watch it anymore or listen to the soundtrack anymore with any enjoyment.
That's how Grease was, because I worked backstage for our musical, and it's just triggering.
One shape up, and you're like, no,
stop it. And then I was in Legally Blonde. I can't listen to that either.
Which is sad, because the Irish song with Paulette is like pretty epic.
I really wanted to be Paulette for that show, but I turned out to be Enid Hoops.
I mean, I'm sure you were a fabulous Enid, because that was pre our friendship, but I think that Paulette would have fit you too.
Oh, it did.
I'm taking the dog.
I'm taking the dog, dumbass.
Because all you do is channel your inner Jennifer Coolidge, and you're just like, I want a hot dog real bad. And I can't do her at all, obviously, but here we go.
It's like the 4th of July. Makes me want to have a hot dog real bad.
So, actually, I do have a Legally Blonde story, which I never thought I would think about, but so the kid and I were wrapping presents last night, and we were just kind of talking about movies, and he's like, did you know that they made a second Legally Blonde movie? And I was like, yeah, Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonde. And he goes, yeah, but like, what's it called?
That's what it's called.
That's what it's called, child. And he goes, well, have you ever seen it? And I'm like, no, never heard of it.
Nope.
Sarcastically. And just today, in between our filming, he said, I'm getting real sick of your sarcasm, Mom. Oh my God. He's no fun anymore. He's getting to that preteen age where like everything's
That's
annoying.
What happens. It just goes to shit when they become tweens.
Yep. Because you're still kind of cool, but you're not in other parts. Like things they used to think was funny is like real irritating and grating on their last nerve. And then their room is always dirty.
Yep. I
do like a shit ton of laundry, and you go, okay, so I'm going to put this in a pile because he's old enough. He should be able to put his own clothes away.
Right.
There's like 3 piles of clean clothes from the last 3 times I've done laundry that are not put away.
Oh, kid.
Oh, my God. And then the smell in there. When did that happen? Does that ever go away? Moms and boys, elaborate.
When puberty hits.
Oh, God.
It never goes away. But Christmas movies can.
Yeah, they can.
They can go away if you really want to.
Speaking of smelly shit, Jim Carrey's version of The Grinch was my favorite.
I loved it. I was not a fan of Benedict Cumberbatch's Grinch.
Oh, dude, that was the worst, and I love him. Okay, I do. He's
Me too. I love him.
Penultimate Sherlock Holmes. Okay?
Absolutely.
However, no, that storyline was shit.
Yeah,
the graphics were too like new and impressive, and if you're gonna do the Grinch, he's got to be an asshole a little bit. Like he was too nice in that movie, and I'm like, this is not our Grinch that we grew up with in that original animated film, which I still love. But I love the Jim Carrey one because I think what Ron Howard did with that film is he harnessed Jim Carrey's crazy, because let's face it, he is all over the map sometimes.
I think that's where I get my ad lib from.
Which is fabulous. And there's a time and a place, but I think Ron was able to like take it and fuel it in a way that actually made sense for a kid's film.
Oh yeah. I mean, there was enough adult humor, and of course I saw this when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. So, but I mean, I was getting the adult humor
because I'm green, isn't it? That's an adult joke in a kid's movie. I mean,
or when he's like, hello, Martha. And he's like in her boobs.
Yeah. And you could tell she's very aroused by him in certain parts of that movie as adults. And you're like, whoa.
I mean, I think, if I can remember correctly, I was old enough to drive. So I took my sister and her friends to go see it in theater.
Oh, yeah.
And I really enjoyed it.
Well, I just think that movie is so timeless, even though it's got some, recent stuff, metaphors for the time. I think that they did it in such a way that that's going to be a movie you watch with your family for a long time. Another movie that did that, even though it's got some tiny pieces in it, like, you know, Michael Jordan's frame, or his what do they call those when it's the paper cutout and it's like life size?
I don't.
It doesn't matter. Home Alone. I saw that in theaters. I was just telling a kid this story the other day. My dad took me and Katie to go see that in theaters when it came out, because yes, I am that old. I did see it in the theaters. And I think he thought it was funnier than we did. But, you know, those of you that know who Dad is that listen, and I know Wanda knows his laugh, it's so infectious when he starts laughing that you can't not laugh. And sometimes I think that movie was so funny originally because of going with him. But
I tried to make booby traps. I tried to make booby traps, like...
yeah, I mean, some of the decor in the house, you could tell it was like, the 90s.
Yeah.
But overall, that movie's also watchable for a long time for a lot of different generations, because, I mean, it's a little bit less likely that a kid is going to get left behind now.
Yeah, nothing against, like, It's a Wonderful Life or Miracle on 34th Street. Yeah, they're great. It's not one of those movies where I would watch it on replay like I would Jim Carrey's Grinch.
And you know, one movie that I had to warm up to, because I am not a big Will Ferrell fan. I'm going to put that out there. I think most of his movies and SNL skits were horrible. I did love the Spartan Cheerleaders. I loved More Cowbell, okay, because those are classic skits.
Those are classics.
But a lot of the stuff he did I found boring, or like not real, because he's got a weird sense of humor.
He does have an odd sense of humor, and a lot of his movies that did come out I did not care for.
But Elf
and Step Brothers are my top for
and they
him.
both had to grow on me. Yeah. I had to watch them a few times, because the first time I saw Step Brothers, I remember going, what in the fuck is this? Mm-hmm. And I watched it with a few of my cousins down at my aunt's house, and I remember they're dying, and I'm just like, you know, and...
Yeah, it's like those humor movies that you're like, I get it, but why is it so funny?
Yeah.
Why is it so funny? But yeah, Elf, I really liked Elf when I saw it the first time. And then I actually got it for Christmas one year. And it's one of my movies. It's not one of my go-to movies. Mm-hmm.
We have to watch it every year, but it's not the first one I select, and it's not a tradition. Yeah. You know? I do love, we've been watching some documentaries with the kid, and we've been watching The Movies That Made Us, or whatever, on Netflix. It's a great series, check it out. They have a whole episode on Elf that we watched recently about Jon Favreau. It was one of his, you know, first outings as a director, and now he's a huge legend with Iron Man and The Mandalorian, so, like, he's doing great things. Also, Pete from Friends, for those of you that didn't know that, because the kid didn't, and I blew his mind. Happy Hogan is also the director, plus Pete from Friends.
Happy?
But
what?
You find out that he was so dedicated to that original Rudolph type look and feel that's what kind of inspired that whole entire story. The look of them, the fact that they used Ralphie from A Christmas Story as one of the main elves was bomb.
I know.
And, you know, you kind of go, wow, all right. And then Bob Newhart.
Yeah.
Who's like an unexpected casting for working with Will Ferrell, but it kind of worked in a weird way.
It did.
And James Caan, and they said in this documentary that everyone was terrified of him because of The Godfather. Since he was in that movie. Yeah. And he had this horrible reputation of being like awful on set. And the first day, you know, he made some crack about how he's awful on set and how he's like sweet James Caan. So they put that on his chair. And after that, like, he was pretty cool. Yeah. So, give us 1 second here. Technical difficulty moment. And here we're back.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, like, I'm one of those actors who once I figure out who my character is and how my character is going to act, I'm kind of like that during practice. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like I leave Wanda sitting in the chair, and now I'm going to be this character.
You become someone completely different, which is why I think we both gravitated towards acting in the first place, is you get out of yourself.
Yeah, a lot of actors on movie sets are kind of the same way. So if somebody who worked with somebody who was a real dick, well, was their character a dick? Mm-hmm. And they were just once they were off screen, they still were dicks because they were still trying to be in character.
Oh, yeah.
There are times during this show, like, the kids are like, why aren't you, like, smiling? And I'm like, I'm Helen Armstrong. I hate you guys.
You guys are the bane of my existence.
I am a church lady who doesn't have kids.
Oh my gosh.
Who does a Sunday school. So clearly I am going to be not a nice person.
Yeah, a little bit awful. Yeah, that's how it works.
And I'm a 1950s church lady, guys.
Oh, that's way different.
So I am like on the line of having a ruler and whacking the shit out of you because if you do not pay attention in Sunday school, it is on. But I'm always in character, and everyone tries to be funny backstage, and like they're just like, yeah, isn't that funny? I was like, yeah, that's funny. They're like, why aren't you laughing? I'm like, I'm Helen.
I gotta stay in character.
I gotta stay in character, or else this is not going to be pulled off correctly.
I think that's one of the things that we do well when we do shows together is we both like to stay kind of as in character. The minute you put your makeup on, you're that other person.
Yeah.
And you can't stop being that other person. It was really difficult when the kid was in a show with us. It was ironically a Christmas show about Santa, and that was cool for me because my dad was Santa, so it was like three generations of theater people.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
But I kept having to break character, and I think that's why I struggled so much with that show because I had to be mom backstage to keep him quiet.
Then you moved to being I
had to be
actor,
a stoner elf, which was my favorite thing to play. I was like the mechanic, man. It was awesome. And I got to talk like that, but it's really hard to be stern and go, God damn it, sit down. And then you got to be quiet. They can hear you. They're right on the other side of that wall.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got to go into, it's really cool, man, because we can't find the old man, so we got to fix the sleigh.
Right?
You know, how do you, it was difficult, but we did it.
Which is very funny because our show kind of went along the lines of Elf.
Yeah, a little bit.
Which is very funny. But that movie was extremely funny. Santa Claus. Now, they beat that sucker with a dead horse, having three.
Yeah. See, the first two were good.
Yeah.
Fight me. As much as I love Martin Short, the third one was garbage. You could fight me on it.
It was.
The only good thing was
sitting
him.
Through it.
Yeah, it was boring. And you're like...
I'm like, yay, Mrs. Claus is pregnant. Fantastic. Woo!
Well, I think the first two were both original in the idea. Like, oh, there's a clause that all of a sudden he has to marry somebody in the first year.
Now, whoever thought that up, they did a really good job with that because there have been times where I thought about that.
What's in the fine print?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What type of clause is there if Santa Claus would fall off a roof?
Well, and...
Why was I not old enough to do a screenplay?
Right. And you think about the stuff that we sign off on a daily basis now. Like, you sign up for a Facebook account, and you have to sign off on terms and conditions, and who the fuck reads all that?
Yeah, you just scroll down, you go,
whoop, agree.
Okay.
Because you want the account, and what's in those fine prints that we're not reading? That's kind of frightening when you think about it.
I know. Now they have, like, on some of them, because, like, I have a Funimation account, and there's actually a little icon up top that says, please do not sell my information.
Oh, that's important. Why don't most people do that?
I know. They need to have that disclaimer because, I mean, out there, any place that you would, like, subscribe places, they have, like, I guess a right to be able to buy your information.
Yeah.
Or they have an ability to be able to
sell it to third-party vendors to contact you about stuff via email, even. Which,
I've had to unsubscribe to a lot of shit.
Yep.
Good God.
And I think one of the things that I guess sets the movie genre and the Christmas movies apart from everything else is there's always at least one heartwarming moment.
Yeah.
Except for Scrooged.
God, I fucking love that movie.
Me too.
Oh my God, that movie is so good. And I don't
forget
know
about
why.
it every year.
I don't know why it is so good. I love Bill Murray, but it's like, I fucking love that version of Christmas Carol.
Yeah. Because it's so twisted, and it's almost the perfect movie to watch the day after Christmas.
I can't put the antlers on the mice. Use a stapler.
And then you could just see some guy trying to use
like he's just standing there and just like, okay. Isn't that gonna kill him?
Isn't Carol Kane the fairy in that movie?
Oh, yes.
And I love her in everything. She's a scene stealer where she's just so fucking funny.
She is.
And
do you think it will work? I don't think so. Bye-bye. Not a chance.
Not
Bye-bye.
a chance. Not today.
Oh, Princess Bride holds a special place in my heart.
Same. I was thinking her on Kimmy Schmidt, and they were talking about what in the last season of that movie or that show, which she's fabulous in. They talk about would be one thing if I was pretty like that Broadway star Carol Kane, which is her, which is funny, and she says it, and you're just like breaking the fourth wall.
Oh my
Awesome.
God. I love her in Addams Family Values.
Oh, it's the grandma?
The grandma?
Yes.
Like, well, you got her white dress?
That is an unconventional, but sometimes we do watch that during the holidays.
Hell yeah, because that is totally a Christmas movie. Now listen, one Christmas movie, and all of you can fight me, is Die Hard.
Oh, I was going to ask. So, vote on our Facebook page if you think Die Hard is a Christmas movie or not, because I happen to agree with Wanda.
Fight me, Martha. It is a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie. Because, hello.
It's during Christmas.
And he's the anti-hero that saves Christmas.
Yeah.
Which is basically the Grinch.
Yeah.
But Die Hard with Hans Gruber.
Hey, and he fit through, that day, he was able to fit through that little air duct.
It's a Christmas miracle.
It was a Christmas miracle. Now he knows what a TV dinner feels like.
Gets his wife back, makes a best friend, and that really nice cop that ended up being Carl Winslow a couple of years later. I mean,
know.
hello. Hello.
I love it. All he was going for was Twinkies. That was it.
Yeah, I think
he got screwed.
That's not a movie I watch every Christmas, but I do believe it is a Christmas movie. It's got the same messaging as a Christmas film.
It has Christmas music in it, guys.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, come on. It couldn't get any better. When I saw that movie for the first time, I was a kid. My dad had recorded it. And because, like back in the day where you had a recorder VCR with a VCR, and you had to make sure that both your hands were going to go at the same time.
Right.
So you put in that clean VHS tape, and you're like, 1, 2, 3, go.
That was the best.
And then it's like on, and you're like, shit, those lines, we have to track it. We've got to track it. Shit.
I do not miss VHS technology.
Oh my God. Then all those lines would come on, and then like you would put it on, like put the recorded one in, and all you see are the lines, and you're just like, damn it.
I messed it up. God bless it.
Or those ones where you thought you recorded it all, and it like cuts off, and then it's in a different show because you're trying to record over the other show.
We used to do Days of Our Lives that way on VHS. I get it.
I would do that with
what episode is this?
All the TV movies, because I always had to go to bed early.
Yeah.
Like Merlin. I had to go to bed every night, so I would press record. And of course, I wouldn't record it to the time that I started it. No, I recorded it when it was time for me to go to bed, so that I couldn't remember what happened before it.
Oh, so you couldn't rewatch like the first 15 minutes or so? What a bummer.
I know. I was really bad at that.
So
now we have DVR.
Well, or Netflix, which is great.
Or Netflix.
So something that really upsets me about Christmas films, I'm going to get into something that I'm almost moved to tears by.
I may agree
which
with
is
you.
Crazy. But A Muppet Christmas Carol is my absolute favorite. And I hate Charles Dickens's book, A Christmas Carol. I hate seeing it on stage. I hate the basic premise of it, with the exception of 2 movies. Scrooged, which we already discussed, and A Muppet Christmas Carol, because Michael Caine is Scrooge.
Oh.
He just is.
Yes.
I think that's his best performance to date.
Now, my sister, she loves the animated one with Jim Carrey.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was too scary.
I went and saw that in fucking theaters.
Me too.
3D.
Me too. Did you get, like, I almost pissed myself.
I freaked out with the Ghost of Future.
Because it comes flying at your fucking face.
When
Like,
those
ah!
horses, like, come at you, I'm like, holy shit. I actually had to take my glasses off for a second because it felt so real.
I don't want to be scared on a Christmas
Me
Carol.
and my best friend, we came out of that, we're like, yeah, never again. We're not going to see that
Mm-mm.
again like that. But my sister, she loves it, and I let her watch it.
Mm.
It's like one movie that I'll let her watch during
Now, let me get into the point about A Muppet Christmas Carol that really pissed me off. So the original VHS that I almost wore out has a song called Love Is Gone, because Scrooge breaks up with his like the love of his life, and then he becomes a bitter asshole, basically. That's the gist. And she sings Love Is Gone by herself after he breaks up with her on this bridge.
Didn't they take it out of the DVD?
Yes! It's nowhere. Not the TV version, not the Disney Plus version. Nobody has that song in it. And I'm like, do I really have to get a fucking VCR now?
Listen.
Ugh.
Disney Plus screwed Lilo and Stitch. Instead of having Lilo in a dryer, they have her in a cabinet.
Yeah.
They changed
I saw that change because they don't want kids going in dryers. Are kids stupid enough to go into a dryer?
I mean...
After seeing Lilo do it?
Tide Pods, let's talk about that.
I mean...
Listen, there have been multiple times where I've crawled into a dryer.
I don't think more than my shoulder would fit in the dryer.
I mean, when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I'd crawl into the dryer. Or we would stick a cat in there. But we never started the dryer.
Just put him in for the quick picture. Oh, he's coming close.
Yep. No, we actually had a cat who really liked the washer.
Okay.
And there was one time we did forget that there was a cat in there.
No way.
And we started it, and we heard... Like, oh, shit!
Now that dark humor I could get behind.
Now that was a cat underwater, guys. All you heard was clunk, clunk.
You probably got it out after you stopped laughing.
Yeah,
I'm sure, before it was mortally wounded.
Yeah, and then after that, we threw it in the dryer to dry it off.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
No, we hung him out to dry.
You wrapped him in a box like the crazy aunt from Christmas Vacation.
Oh man, yeah, I wrapped that one up.
All right, so I have a question, since this is something we grew up with that kids today might be a little bit put off by, but movies like Rudolph that have that stop animation, and that's not the right word for it. Is that...
I love it.
I mean, we grew up with that, so like I remember waiting for Rudolph, and I'd be in my jammies with my blankie waiting for it to start.
Or A Year Without Santa Claus.
Yes.
I fucking love those movies.
They call me Heat Miser. Heat Miser's my favorite.
And I just love seeing these little clay animated characters on like spinners when they're like spinning around.
Oh yeah.
And you can see the spinner.
I don't know how they did that, but
see, I was a huge fan of Gumby as a kid.
See, that makes sense.
So I loved all of those because I liked having a different version of a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, of course, we grew up with cartoons, but we also grew up with clay animation cartoons.
Right.
Where nowadays they don't really have that.
And when they do, like, movies like Chicken Run, it creeps me out. Like, it doesn't have the same nostalgic, like,
and you know how long that takes to do just a scene?
Yeah.
It's like fucking 6 hours.
That's how they did. Okay, so another debate I need Facebook opinions on.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes! How did you know I was going to say that?
Because everyone thinks that it's not a Christmas movie.
Okay, it is both.
It is
Halloween
both.
and
It
a
is
Christmas movie.
It is both
Learn
holidays.
today. People.
Learn
today.
A Christmas movie. I watch it during Halloween and I watch it during Christmas.
Yes. Because they're talking about kidnapping Santa Claus. Hello. Bring back the Santa Claus. Put him in a bag. Bring back the Santa Claus. I forget the rest. Mm-hmm. And then Jack makes himself Santa of Halloween Town.
Yes!
And he's trying to teach them about Christmas. Hello.
I know. It's such a good movie. We could watch on Easter because the Easter Bunny is in it too.
I think they made that movie. That was one of the last ones I think that they really utilized that
The
technology
clay animation. There was another one. It's called Cubo, and the magic strings or something like that. Something along the lines of that. It came out in like 2018, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a really good one. It was a clay animation as well.
See, I don't generally like most of them, but some of them, you know, if it's a good enough story, I can get
and
Coraline.
Coraline's a clay animation.
I've never seen Coraline.
Oh, that is a good Halloween movie.
The premise scared the shit out of me, even as an adult. I'm like, no. People with buttons for eyes and an alternate universe. Nope. I'm good. I'm good, Tim Burton. Thank you very much. I would like to have good dreams and not nightmares. No, thank you.
I don't think Tim Burton did that one.
I don't know if he did or not, but it just seems like something he would do.
I know. And I really thought that Tim Burton did it, but he didn't. Now, Corpse Bride, that one's a good one, too. It's not as good as Nightmare Before Christmas.
It just didn't have that nostalgic magic.
No, like, I'll watch it, and I'm like, I'm giving you a chance.
Also, you want to know my second reason?
I'm giving you another chance.
My second reason that Nightmare Before Christmas is a Christmas film, kids. I don't know why I went Southern on that one. Holy crap. Anyway, I don't know why Catherine O'Hara, who plays our wonderful Moira Rose, who we love dearly, is the mom in Home Alone, both Home Alone movies that we like. Because apparently there was a third one with some other kid, and I'm like, no thanks.
Yeah.
Kevin McAllister or nothing, thank you. But Mommy McAllister, and she's also the voice of Sally. Which, if she's the penultimate mom of Christmas films, and she's Sally also, Nightmare Before Christmas is a Christmas movie. Boom. Done.
Mic drop.
Done. That's all you need to know.
Oh, man. And it's very funny. This is, you know that I have seen a movie about 100 kajillion times when I play the soundtrack and I know what scene's coming up.
Yeah.
And I recite the entire thing.
All right. So, what musical? Do we have any Christmas musicals?
The best Christmas pageant ever.
Okay. I have yet to see it, but I will be seeing it shortly at some point. So here we are.
It actually is a book.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I should read it before I come see it.
Yeah. I did not realize until I started researching it, when I got a role in it and I researched it, and it was actually like a TV movie special.
Oh, all right. So it's got some really fun traditions.
Yeah.
I would say the Rockettes, but can I say something controversial? The Rockettes are boring.
They are.
All they do is kick the air, you guys.
Yeah.
And I know that they're trained dancers and like there's way more than that, but to me I see legs and I'm just like, okay, yay. I need a story or something more than here comes Santa Claus, which seems to be the one they use when they do the Macy's parade every year.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's another like Christmas musical. I don't think there is.
Because you know they did the variation
besides
of a Christmas
Carol.
Yeah.
Christmas Story, the best Christmas pageant ever. I mean, our show needs to get copyrighted.
Yeah.
Like unwrapping Santa Claus or something.
The Santa Substitute. I knew it would come to
Santa Substitute.
I knew it would hit. So yeah, we should sell that to somebody.
Totally.
Licensing rights, baby.
I mean it.
We and our two BFFs wrote it, so we have the writing credentials on there. So
and we pretty much played all of our characters that we wrote.
Yep.
I wrote a German vocal coach named Von. Yoo-hoo!
It's on sale.
Yep, I would go, yoo-hoo! You must breathe from the diaphragm. Breathe. Not yet. That was my favorite part. Just sitting there and having her do her vocal lessons so that she could be like, ho, ho, ho. So that you could be ho, ho, ho. The ho, ho, ho man.
The ho, ho, ho man.
And all I ask for is Venus Nissel.
And you were the only one that could have played that. I mean,
Oh, man.
we really tried with that show to get somebody else for every role that we had written.
Yeah,
and
because
it just
really
didn't
all
work.
we wanted to do was just write it and see it get played out, but it didn't happen that way.
That's okay. We knew I got to do a spoken word art piece in the middle of it with only me, and they were doing moves based on what I was saying around me.
And
That was difficult.
I did a German rap, all in a German accent.
Again, awesome.
It was a lot of fun.
It was fun.
Yeah. But, there's not a lot of, like, Christmas adapted plays.
Right. I mean, you might have a Christmas scene in something here and there, but it's not really the focus or the focal point of the show.
See, and I would really hate doing those Hallmark movies because they do it in the middle of July.
God, and then they put the fake snow in, and you gotta wear that hot-ass coat.
Yeah, because you're like, it's cold out here, but it's really like 110 degrees outside.
Oh, and I'm selling my dad way out here. So my parents are traditional in every, like, gender role in a marriage you could possibly be except one. My mom is I love action films. I want to see the blood. I want to see them break their face. And, like, she's
And Dad wants to cry at everything.
He literally watches the Hallmark and Lifetime movies this time of year. That's what we watched when we were over there for Thanksgiving, which is fine. That's what he likes. It's fine.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just so weird because she's like, oh, it's another Hallmark movie. And then he's like, oh my God, another Steven Seagal movie. And, you know, it's always weirded me out, but it's always been kind of funny.
That's literally how my mom is. Like, she'll record all of these Hallmark movies.
Oh.
And it's the same thing over again. Like, I'll be sitting there and I'll be watching it with her and I'm like, oh no. The lead has a conflict. She needs to take out something in her hometown. Oh no, so that she can get that big promotion. Oh no. Oh no, she falls in love with a guy that she went to high school with. Oh no! Now she's
she
conflicted?
has to decide between the guy and the career she's always dreamed of.
Oh,
what will she pick?
And then at the end, she chooses
love.
Ew. Merry Christmas.
Coming from a happily married person, ew.
I'm just like, whoa. Tell me, this person has a conflict.
Quite often, I call Hallmark movies the romantic novels of the movie genre, where it's like, it's the same story, but like different names, and there's like different details.
That's why I can't do, when I was younger, I loved romantic comedies because it gave me an idea about what love actually is.
Right.
Christmas movies, kind of the same.
Yeah.
They give you an expectation.
Familial love, usually.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Everybody is fighting during Christmas. Everyone's fighting. But in the end, everyone's like, oh, I love you.
This is the best day ever.
I'm so happy that we were able to, like, make up for Christmas.
Or make it home for Christmas. Oh, my favorite thing, though, in those movies is, so Hubs and I like to wrap presents whenever the couple years that we didn't wrap them as they came in, like we're doing again this year, we'd pick a day when none of the kids were here, and we would turn on Hallmark, and we make fun of them as we're wrapping the presents. So I'm like, oh, look, she chose love, and hey, this is the first snowfall of the year while they're kissing at the end of the movie. I'm so surprised.
Look, he's conflicted because he just kissed his, like, old love, and now everything is rekindling, and now he needs to choose whether or not to take out the bakery so that they can put a hotel in.
The billionaire goes back home to his hometown and meets the hometown girl that owns a bakery.
Now,
why is it always a bakery? Why?
Last year, I think it was last year, or the year before, Lifetime, I have to say kudos to Lifetime because you'll never see it on Hallmark. Lifetime actually had a same-sex couple.
Oh, wow. Progress.
Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Where the lead was in love with his, like one of his friends from high school and finds out that he is also gay.
Wow.
So,
was it less hokey than the heterosexual ones, or just as
kind
hokey?
of. I was more interested in this one.
Okay.
And it had Fran Drescher in it as the mom. So I was like,
oh my God.
I'm living for this right now.
You're gay.
I mean, it had the same concept, But it was so nice to see a same gender relationship conflict as opposed to having a opposite sex. Hallmark is never going to do it. They're never going to have same sex.
Yeah, it's just it's too much of a conservative Christian
it's
like channel, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just they're just traditional.
Yeah, like, it's not their genre because of course
they know who their people are.
Yeah, because if you think about the Hallmark channel, it's ranged between like 40s to 90s,
and generally those people are more conservative than
they grew up in the more conservative lifestyle, so of course they're trying to go with that. So then they don't lose all the viewers.
And somebody would take offense to having
like they would probably jump on Hallmark's ass after that. But yeah, Lifetime did that. I was like, is this Hallmark? My mom's like, no, this is Lifetime. I was like, makes sense.
Although Lifetime does do some shitty stuff, like whenever they made their fake biopic of the Harry and Meghan left Europe and now they live in California movie. And it was real shittily cast, and the plot was awful, and you're like, this can't be what actually happened. Yeah. I mean, come on, Lifetime. So I think they do pull their shitty stuff, so I think people are like, Lifetime's like the sleazy version of the Hallmark channel.
Yeah, they're the ones that are a little suggestive about their sexuality.
They make shit up. Look at that. There's two men kissing. I don't know if I can watch
Hallmark's
that.
like, oh no, no.
We don't
There's
do that
always a man and woman.
Do you think the person that the head of Hallmark, do you think that at all these people have those live, laugh, love signs in their houses?
Oh, I'm certain
they have to. They have to, because all of their people that are in the movies seem to have
those
stickers.
Could you see the screenwriters that come and present their stuff? They're just like, I have this gay couple in there. Well, how long is the gay couple going to be in there? Are they the main ones? If not, you can take it right.
They can be gay on the side, but they can't be the main couple because we can't have that on this channel. We can't have that.
They will be on screen briefly so that people don't get
they can confused. Only hold hands.
But if it's going to be all same sex relationship, you can just go right on down to Lifetime, right down the road.
You just head on down to where them live, laugh, love signs are not. Thank you very much.
This is not in our cup of tea.
I don't know. I don't like either channel, so I have no opinion on either one.
I don't know.
If I wanted a romance novel, I would read one. I don't want to watch one.
It's very every year that I watch a Christmas movie or a Christmas special, everything is the goddamn same way, cookie cut shit.
I do have a complaint about Christmas, and it always happens the week after Thanksgiving. These damn restylings of musicals that they try to do live, but on TV, and they're never good. And you're always like, but it was so promising because it had Harry Connick Jr. and this sweet little girl playing Annie, and then you're like, but it was still weird, and tech blew it on that one.
Can we also, for the brief few minutes that we have left, can we talk about that Grinch musical on TV?
First of all, when you get that asshole, that ass hat that was the teacher in Glee in anything, I will not watch it. That was my very first clue that was going to be garbage.
He was so sexual.
The Grinch is not sexual. He's an asshole, but not.
He's an asshole. I mean, yeah, they're
not a hit on Cindy Lou Who.
I mean, Jim Carrey had his moments, especially when he's like, "Oh, what am I gonna wear?"
But it was funny, and it wasn't in a way that was creepy.
His voice, he used a Jimmy Stewart voice
for his live action Grinch. Yeah. My favorite part of that whole movie was when he put on Ron Howard's hat, and he was pretending to direct the scene.
He's like, "All right, you'll hate your nose, and you despise the entire world.
Your mother never loved you. Action."
Brilliant! You despise your own nose.
It's society's take on your nose.
Oh my god. And when he was wearing, it's not a dress, it's a kilt. Sicko.
Everything. But see, even the suggestiveness of Jim Carrey's Grinch it was done in a tasteful, funny way that was family friendly. The Matthew Morrison Grinch was just...
Every time I cry now, I just go, I'm leaking.
Which has to throw off whoever is standing there upset
Max,
at you.
I love ya. Okay, knock it off. One thing at a time.
That poor dog.
Oh, I know, that dog. Oh, that dog. I mean, that is the one thing that that drives me nuts about, like, musicals, having live animals and children.
Because they're both so sweet, but they're both so difficult to work with. They're not like an adult human where you can go, you need to be here when they say, ta-da. And then they're there, and you tell a kid that, and then they're like,
yep.
What?
Oh, man. Oh, good times. And all those, like, all these at school presentations and everything.
Those are actually some, I would prefer to see those than the live on TV ones, because at least they are kids trying to learn the craft of acting and all that stuff. What's Connick Jr.'s excuse? I love him dearly, but that bald cap was not it. It wasn't it.
Yeah, one Christmas for school, one of our holiday concerts or whatever, I had to sing All I Want for Christmas Is My Two Front Teeth. I didn't have two front teeth. So I was typecasted.
That's not nice.
I was typecasted for that.
You guys will have to pray for me. This week is the kids' choir concert, and his choir teacher gave him a fucking kazoo. The kazoo that he's been playing nonstop.
Amazing.
Since she gave it to him.
Amazing.
It'll be like 35 kids going in a kazoo. Seriously, patience.
I don't know what type of Christmas choir concert that is.
I'm looking forward to it, except for that particular part of the show.
Could you just see it's like burr 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 burr. Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Maybe some of them play at certain parts and the others sing, and it's kind of a...
Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows?
To be continued. But this means that we will see you after the new year.
Yes.
Have a happy Christmas, happy new year.
So you won't be hearing from us for a couple of weeks.
But we will miss you, and we will come back very soon.
We will. We'll be all over our social media a little bit more now that life is starting to slowly settle down.
Calm down a little bit, yeah. So we will see you guys later.
Bye. Bye.